Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today I thought we could do something a little bit more light and fun. So I thought, why not rank celebrities' children's names, because some of them do get wild. I found this listicle from Vogue about the most unusual celebrity baby names. So we're just going to look at through these names and then we're going to rank them. So for my ranking system, I have it as follows. So at the top, what is equivalent to an S tier is it can work. Like I can see the name working. Like I guess it's not as egregious as some of the names that we're going to see in the list. Below it can work, we have where I'm like but the name isn't as bad as the other names in this list. Below we have it's a little bit more like why would you name your kids that, but it's still like celebrities do stuff celebrities do, I guess. And then below we have why, just why, and that one is like why would you name your kid that? Do you really not have any other names that you could have named your kid as? And below why, just why, we have if I was the nurse working at the hospital where the kid is being delivered, I would refuse to do the birth certificate. Anyway, without further ado, let's start. I'm going to start recording my screen and let's start ranking these names. So first, let's just get it out of the way. Elon Musk and Grimes' baby names are wild. So you have Technomechanicus, and then you have Exa Dark Sidriel. They said that it's pronounced like Galadriel. It's been a while since I've seen The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Okay guys, like I forgot how to pronounce the name, but they say it's pronounced like Kate Blanchett's character name. So it's like Exa Dark Sidriel. Yep, I think that's it. And then of course you have all these symbols that's supposed to be a kid's name. When I see these symbols, I really do not know how to pronounce the name. My brain just keeps going Anyway, these names are giving like characters from a sci-fi novel, and the novels that are not particularly good, I would say. And I have no idea the thought process that went into the naming of these kids. I feel like somebody should have stopped them and said like, hey, maybe you could use another name, especially for to rank all these three names together. I would say if I was a nurse, I would refuse to do the birth certificate. Next, we have Olin, and that's the name of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' child, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, I just confirmed it with the Vogue article. All things considered, like this name is not as weird as some of the other names in this list. It's just like they had pretty normal names for their previous children, like James, Ines, and then
by the name Betty.
So I would say I'm probably going with because it's just like the name's pretty surprising, but it's not also the weirdest name I've heard, I guess. It's just like an outlier from the other names that they've given their children. Next, we have Kanye West and Kim Kardashian's children's names. For Northwest, that one I am a little bit like but it's also not quite strange. I think it's just strange because if you put the name together like Northwest, that's when it gets the direction. And I remember when it was announced that they were going to have children, I was joking like, hey, what if they named their kid Northwest? I didn't expect they were going to actually do it. Not me having the gift of prophecy like Apollo. But I have to say, for their other kids' names like Saint, Psalm, Chicago, I actually think they could work. Like they're not too bad. I think like Saint is a little bit like, ooh, you're naming your kid Saint, okay, sure, but it's not egregious. You know what, I changed my mind. I'll put Saint in But for like Psalm and Chicago, I actually don't think they're that bad as a name. I'm sorry. The next one that we have is Saga Blade. That's the name of Megan Fox's and Machine Gun Kelly's kid. And it's giving Zelda, I don't know. It's giving like a fantasy sword. I put it as a because it's not as like why, just why. It's a little bit like You know what? I'll put it in why just why actually. Like I think it's because like it's a name that people have been using for like marketing, you know? It's like marketing terms, you know, the way that you market like books or series and or movies. That's why I'm a little bit like taken aback by it, you know, like I'm thrown back. It's like naming your kid like Jaguar or something. It's like I guess like it could work, but the name is so associated with something else. So it's kind of strange if you take that name and use it as a name for a person. Yeah, this name is just giving, you know, fantasy books. Next, we have Kourtney Kardashians and Scott Disick's children. These names, I don't think they're that weird. I would say like Mason Dash, it can work. Penelope Scotland can also work. Scotland, it's having the same issue as the example that I mentioned previously. Like you immediately associate Scotland with like Scotland, you know? So it becomes a little bit strange, even if it's just like a word, right? It becomes strange when it becomes a person's name. And then Rain Aston, it could work. It could work. Like personally, that's not something I would name my kids if I even have kids, but I can see it working. But again, it's not as strange as Next, we have Kylie Jenner's and Travis Scott's kids' names. So we have Air and Stormy. I'm gonna be controversial, even if the name isn't that weird. It is, again, having that same syndrome in that it's words that you associate with something incredibly strongly that when you make it into a person's name, it just doesn't sound right. And Air and Stormy is giving that. So I'm going to put it in like, huh? Also because of the spelling too. Because I get like, they're probably using the spelling to make things sound different, but it's not working for me. It's giving fantasy book names. Next, we have Blue Ivy, Beyonce's and Jay-Z's daughter. It can work, like it's not bad. Blue in of itself can be a name, though I would probably think that, you know, immediately the name Blue kind of reminds me of Blue's Clues and also Blue, the Jesse Eisenberg bird from Rio. It's alright. Apple, that's Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin's daughter. It's fine. It's again like one of those things where it's like, it's already a word that is so associated with, in this case, like the fruit as well as, you know, the brand Apple. It becomes strange when it becomes a person's name. But I feel like this is also one of those like, I'll put it in like only because I've kind of gotten used to the name. Like anytime anyone talks about weird celebrity kids names, they always mention Apple, and by that rate I kind of got used and conditioned to this name, so it's not as egregious as like other names on this list as well. Next, we have Pilot Inspector. Pilot Inspector's parents are Beth Reese Graff and Jason Lee. Personally, I don't really know them, but Pilot Inspector, the name is very, I would say why just why, mostly because you are kind of, it feels like they are encouraging this kid to go into aerospace, to become a pilot, either a pilot or an inspector or a pilot inspector at the same time. And I'm like, what if the kid have other ambitions? What if they don't want to be a pilot or an inspector or a pilot inspector? What if they want to be, I don't know, a doctor? Next, we have Kal-El, and that is the name of Alice Kim's and Nicolas Cage's son, named after Superman, aka Kal-El, aka Clark Kent. This one I went just like, huh? Because I don't understand, like, if they do like the character, why can't they just name the kid Clark? Clark is a nice name, like, why not just Clark? Anyway, next we have Juliet Norton's and Jamie Oliver's kids' names. They are interesting names, and these names are Poppy Honey Rosie, Daisy Boo Pamela, Petal Blossom Rainbow, Buddy Bear Maurice, River Rocket Blue Dallas. Honestly, these names are like fine individually, but together, combined, it's an interesting combo. I'm so confused because I feel like the names are almost there. It's just like they combined all these different names all at once that makes it so confusing. I would probably put it in like why, just why, only because they're almost there. They're almost there. Like they almost have like good names. It's just like there's too much happening. There's too much happening here, and the combination is it's just not working. Next, we have Audio Science. So Audio Science is Let me see whose kids. Shannon Sossamon and Dallas Clayton's kid is named Audio Science. It's the same thing with like Pilot Inspector, you know? I feel like the name Audio Science just kind of, it cages the kid. It makes it feel like they are now obligated to study audio science. And it's like, what if audio science wants to go into other pursuits like art or dentistry? What if they don't want to learn audio science? Let's just put it in Why Just Why. And to be honest, the name Audio Science itself, it's giving like someone trying to improve the SEO of their social media post or their websites. Also, again, it's one of those things where it's like, it's a word, but the word is associated with some things and it's so intertwined with that when it becomes a name, it doesn't work. Next, we have the kids of Adelaide Gale Zappa and Frank Zappa. I only chose 2 of their kids' names, namely Moon Unit and Diva Thin Muffin. Moon could work as a name itself. It's just Unit. And then Diva Thin Muffin, I just want to know what's going on with the naming there, because it's like a bunch of words that should not be next to each other, if that makes sense. I would put Moon Unit in Why Just Why, but I would put Diva Thin Muffin. Why am I having so much difficulty saying that? I would put Diva Thin Muffin, and if I was a nurse, I would refuse to do the birth certificate. Special shout out to any of Nick Cannon's kids' names, because some of them are wild. I would say some of their names aren't that strange. So he has like Moroccan and Monroe, and then he has Golden Saigon, Rice Messiah Cannon, Powerful Queen, Zion Mixolydian, Zillion Air, Beautiful Zeppelin, Legendary Love, Onyx Ice Coal. I am so tempted to put any of his kids' names in like, if I was the nurse, I would refuse to do the birth certificate. But at the same time, like some of the names are, you know what, I'll put it there, because like the kids' names that I'm kind of like vibing with is probably like Moroccan and Monroe. But even then, in regards to Moroccan, again, it's giving that it's a word that is so associated with something else that when it becomes a name, it just doesn't gel. But yeah, this is the final list that we have. Thank you so much for watching this video. It might suck, but nonetheless, thank you so much for watching it. If you like this video, please like, share it, comment on it as well, and maybe also subscribe to the channel. I don't usually do these kinds of videos. I usually do like video essays or talk about pop culture and whatnot, but you know, this is fun to do once in a while, and so I just want to thank you for being patient with me and this video. But yeah, thank you so much. Let me know in the comments, like, do you agree with my ranking list? Do you have any thoughts about some of these people's names? In my opinion, names are very important because sometimes like they encapsulate you as a person as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye and have a good day.